much to offer, and I just read an enticing book called Everything, Everything by Nicola Yoon. So in my book, it's about a young girl who has baby bubble syndrome and is stuck in her house for most of her life. In my novel, the young girl's name is Maddie Whiter. She suffers from this disease as she thinks, and as her mother, who's a doctor, has prescribed her with and diagnosed her with. When she was 4 months old, she found out about her father and brother's death, how they got into a really bad car accident, and how that paid for the filtering air that is in her house. Since her mom is a doctor, she went to crazy mode trying to figure out all these different things to help her, but never really truly tried to save her daughter from the disease that she grew up with. So over time, she got really close to her nurse called Clara, and every time someone moved in or she met someone new, she got very attached to them. So one day when she turned, I believe it was 17, she had a kid named Ollie who moved in next door, and he tried everything to try contacting her, and she was just having it because she didn't want to then get attached to him like all these other times. Then finally one day he found her IM and decided to message her, and they decided to message back and forth, getting closer together. When that happened, she began to fall for him and decided, you know what, I want to meet him even if it kills me. So that happened where he went into this whole mode of, I'll protect you, I'll go through anything just to see you. And then one day, the nurse finally let them meet and spend time together as long as they didn't touch. Then, during one of their meetings, when they were hanging out, he kissed her, but she didn't feel sick or anything. She went into precaution mode and made sure she didn't contact him or anything for a good 4 days to make sure she didn't get sick. When she realized she didn't get sick, she felt something was off, as in something her mother wasn't telling her. And over time, she began to progressively wonder. So she made herself a bank account and bought herself a ticket, and Ollie a ticket, to Hawaii, which was the last place her mom, her brother, and her dad all went to. And while they went there, she was feeling good and everything like that, except she had some chest pain, but she just ignored it, thinking that it was her anxiety from going and being sick. Well, the last day after her mom found out she was there and heading to Hawaii to go get her to bring her home, she almost died and was sent into the hospital. So when she was sent into the hospital, they told her that she was very sick with a respiratory disease. And with the respiratory disease, it affected her so badly because her immune system wasn't any older than a toddler's, because of her mom prescribing her and diagnosing her with baby bumble syndrome, and then putting her in isolation her whole life. The quote I chose is trying to portray the world. When you first jump off the cliff or into life, you're flailing and excited, and then it hits you, problems and life lessons. It's hard to be placed under the water or the weight of life, but you remain calm. Then you finally rush to the top, get air, and you realize it's just a part of life, and you're another person doing the same thing in the big wide world. With the quote, it's pretty much saying that you're gonna rush into things, and you're gonna try new things, and you're gonna be scared and excited. And then when you hit the bottom, you're always going to be decided whether or not it's all worth it. Because when you hit the bottom and you decide to push yourself back up, it's kind of like keeping your head above water. And logically, in this quote, you're literally keeping your head above water. I'd give my story a 4 out of 5. I would 100% recommend this book to a young girl or a woman, or even a teen. Mainly only women, because it is about a young girl who discovers herself and is going on a journey with this boy named Ollie. The danger in life and the drama in family will hit better, and they will truly understand how to empathize with her and how to empathize with their own lives and try putting her story into their own shoes. Reading my book, I hope to get inspired to live my life no matter what it was and whatever tries to hold me back. The young girl Maddie reminds me of myself, how she pushes boundaries and continues to discover herself. That I need to understand myself before I go on to be happy, or be happy with myself. Yes, it gave me an insight on how others feel, deeper than just the way you perceive them. You have to look deeper into things and make sure you fully understand what's going on before you judge anyone. Yes, I want to find the love of my life, push boundaries and go to Hawaii, also get healthier due to health issues that are not understandable recently, but I'd rather have fun and live my life than worry about things that I can't control. On page 162 of my book, there's a nice quote that she says that has pretty much 3 examples of why I believe these things and why I believe that I could be who I want to be and do what I want to do and to always advance myself. Sometimes I reread my favorite books, from back to front. I start with the last chapter and read backwards until I get to the beginning. When you read this way, characters go from hope to desire and despair, from self-acknowledgement to doubt. In love stories, couples start out as lovers and end up as strangers. Coming-of-age books become stories of losing your way. Your favorite character comes back to life. And if you were a book and you read it backwards, nothing would change. Today is the
Here's
same
what
as
happens
yesterday,
when you
tomorrow will
jump
be the same
feet
as today.
first and arms
In the book
flailing
of
off
Maddie,
a 30-foot cliff
all
into
the
the
chapters
Pacific
are the same.
Ocean. The water's so
So in
thrilling
her
that
life,
you
she
have to
pretty much
scream
lived
on the
things
way
over
down.
and over
The
and
slap of the
over.
water against
So
your feet
when
stings
she
momentarily and then
decided to
cold.
advance her
Salty
life
water
and
shoots
take a
straight
step
up your
forward,
nose. It's
she's
dark
pretty
beneath
much
the
taking a step
surface
back in
because
her
your eyes are
book
closed.
because she used
Quiet except for
to
the rush of
go
water
out
filling
and
the
everything like that
temporary
when she was only
vacuum
4
formed
months
by
old
your
and she didn't
body.
remember any of that. She
Cold
didn't know
except
life
for the warm pocket of
without
air that the
being
sea makes for
contained.
you. It
So
takes
she's pretty
longer
much
to get
walking
back
backwards
into
in
the
her book,
surface
but
than you
extending
think
her
it will,
story.
and there's a moment of feeling as if you're on another planet or nowhere
My
at all.
main
You
characters
surface
are
in the water
Maddie
drains from your
Whiter,
nose and eyes, and you're just
Ollie,
another small creature in a big, wide
Clara,
world.
and her mom. We don't know the mom's name. She's only referred to as mom. Maddie Whiter is a young girl who has baby bumble syndrome and wants to explore the world but can't because she'll get sick. Ollie's the new neighbor who falls in love with Maddie and has an abusive father, mother, and the sister is a deadbeat. Her mother is crazy, who has the degree in medical but is never truly sound after the death of her mother's husband and brother. And then there's Clara, who has a daughter that is just like Maddie, like age-wise and the way her persona is, but is also rebellious against her and doesn't want to understand why her mom tries to help her so much. And then overall, the characters just blend so well together because it's different types of lives, from abusive to crazy to rebellious children, all mixed together to create this unison in the world that we have today, but it affects us all in different ways. The plot in my story has to do with baby bumble syndrome, which is a medical issue, love, rebellion, and betrayal. I don't want to give too much away, so that's all I'm going to leave you with on the plot, because I think you should figure that out a little bit.
Some facts about baby bumble syndrome is that you are born with a rare disease where you do not have a fully adjusted immune system, where even when you grow older that you cannot eat or wear or smell certain things or eat certain things or wear certain things because it will affect you so badly that you could pretty much die. And when you get sick, it's more like a deadly disease infesting you rather than a cold. Some questions I have about my book is about the reaction one has to losing a loved one. Granted, I've lost many loved ones in my life, sadly, and I know how I deal with them, but I don't understand why the mother dealt with it this way and how she could put it on her child like this.